Last year, there was so much excitement for new rides rumored for Universal Studios Florida. Then, Universal acquired a huge chunk of land, got permission to build a new theme park on it, and now it feels like all of their attention has shifted. Let's take a look at all the attractions we thought were being replaced with something new, and where they stand now. First, Fear Factor Live. When it was announced that last year's Bill and Ted show was going to be their final year at Halloween Horror Nights, lots of people, myself included, jumped to the conclusion that the long-rumored Ministry of Magic edition to Harry Potter's London was imminent. A year later, and not only is Fear Factor Live still open, but the stage will once again be used during Halloween Horror Nights, this time for the Academy of Villains show. So where does that leave us? Some people believe that the Ministry of Magic expansion is still in Universal Studios Florida's future, but it has been put off so it doesn't open close to the new Potter coaster opening next door next year. Others believe that the Ministry of Magic has been moved entirely to the new park being developed on the newly acquired piece of land located south of the current property. If that ends up being the case, it's likely that the Ministry attraction will be set within the time period of the new Fantastic Beasts series and not the original Harry Potter series. Shrek 4D. As we've discussed before, it seems like Shrek 4D is perpetually on the brink of closing down at Universal Studios Florida. Its Hollywood counterpart closed last year, and a new DreamWorks attraction starring Kung Fu Panda has already opened in its place. However, the one in Orlando remains intact. Speaking of Hollywood, demolition has begun on the Globe Theater in that park. It's believed that a new Secret Life of Pets dark ride will be built on that spot. This would be the same Secret Life of Pets, or SLoP for short, that was rumored to replace Shrek here in Orlando. And yet, Shrek is still open in Universal Studios Florida. In fact, Halloween Horror Nights recently added a 10th house for this year's event that wasn't originally planned. The new house will be located in the second theater for Shrek 4D. And sure, this has been a common location for mazes in recent years, but this time it was a last-minute addition. And so, Shrek 4D lives to see another day. Next up, Woody Woodpecker's KidZone. The originally intended home for Super Nintendo World at Universal Orlando, KidZone remains open. We should be amazed at just how close KidZone was to closing and being demolished last year. Work walls went up around E.T. Adventure to help shield guests from Fievel's eventual leveling. The Halloween Horror Nights maze queues were rerouted away from KidZone in preparation for its inevitable closure. And permits were filed with the city for demolition and the construction of a new 8.8-acre land devoted to the world of Nintendo. But then, nothing. Slowly, the work walls came down, the KidZone attractions received new coats of paint and general refurbishments, and not a word was ever said from Universal about Nintendo World going there, or for that matter, going anywhere in Orlando. Why? Probably because it's hard to announce where a new land with state-of-the-art attractions will be built when you still haven't announced that you're building an entirely new theme park. And yes, that seems to be the current consensus on the state of Nintendo World for Orlando. It has been put off for the new theme park. And it makes sense. If you want people to get excited about visiting your new park, you're going to need a big property to anchor it. You're going to need some standout attractions to get people through those shiny new turnstiles. And Super Nintendo World featuring Mario Kart would certainly fit the bill. Where does that leave the Woody Woodpecker's KidZone? Probably in limbo. There have been rumors of a Pokemon land taking over KidZone, but I don't think we'll see any additional Nintendo properties built around the resort until the initial Super Nintendo World opens. Other rumors point to a DreamWorks property taking over the area, maybe DreamWorks Trolls. They already have a popular meet and greet there, and it's a popular property that sells a lot of merchandise, so I can see that happening. But with everything else going on around the resort, I doubt we'll see any attention paid to KidZone for a little while now. And finally, T2 3D. We lost Terminator 2 3D late last year, and Universal promised us a high-energy show to replace it that will be based on a Universal franchise. And what will that franchise be?
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
While details are scarce and Universal is yet to announce that Bourne will actually be the focus of the new show, we do know that construction inside the venue is only now starting, from permits that were recently filed. While most traces of the Terminator franchise have been removed and some partial demolition has occurred, construction is only now beginning. Most likely, the months leading up to now have been spent producing the show, writing, blocking with actors off-site, filming media, and other preparations. The new show is rumored to be an indoor stunt show that will feature some screen-based portions in addition to the live actors and stunt performers. Personally, I'm hoping for something more like the old school How Movies Are Made type shows, like Hitchcock's Art of Making Movies, The Murder, She Wrote, or Hercules Xena. A behind-the-scenes stunt show, right next door to the horror makeup show, would solidify the Hollywood area of the park as the place where you can still learn how movies are made. In other words, I'd rather this be an indoor version of the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular than the Eighth Voyage of Sinbad.
Hit me, baby, one more time!
Well, at least there will not be 3D glasses involved. So, in conclusion, it's unfortunate that while Universal Studios Florida has received several new attractions and upgrades over the last few years, they haven't all been winners. Diagon Alley is a masterpiece for sure. Race Through New York starring Jimmy Fallon is just okay. And Fast and Furious Supercharged, well, that may have been one screen-based attraction too many. Hopefully they don't neglect this park while their attention shifts to building a new one, but only time will tell. What do you think? Is Universal Studios Florida a bit uneven now, with too many screen-based attractions? Or are you glad things like Nintendo are moving to the new park, where they'll have more room to expand? Leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe for more theme park news and rumor videos coming soon. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.